Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and today is Thursday, August 31st, 2017. I wanted to update a few trade ideas that stand out right now. Some of these I've highlighted in the trading room recently, some on the front page, but I'll just try to pull it together in a video. This isn't all inclusive. There are some other things that I might add to this afterwards, but here's just a few that stand out now. MNKD. This one was posted in the trading room a few days ago, and I listed this one with this chart. You can see a nice, well-defined trend line. In fact, that goes back a little ways to the left of the chart, goes all the way back to 2015, the middle of 2015. Very well defined. I like to see that. The more reactions you have, the more valid that trend line. So I stated this one as a long entry with quote unquote potentially explosive gains on a break above both the downtrend line as well as the 178 resistance level. Because I had a resistance level, a fairly well defined level just above the trend line, the it makes sense to wait till both those levels are taken out. Well, that's exactly what happened yesterday, and also on an impulsive move, like I had stated, you want to see an impulsive break, and so there was an entry triggered above 178 yesterday, and as of today, that trade is made about 30%, almost 30%, in just one day. Most people would be happy to make 30% in a year. Yes, there's going to be losers with the winners. But if you factor that in, if you take, you have a few trades that are stopped out for 5, 8% loss, 10, depends on what your price target is. Um, you don't need many of these 30% plus trades. And as I said in the trading room, I like this one all the way up here to the 335 area, and that's about another. Well, earlier today it was the stock was up. We were up about 20% when I posted an update, and that was another 60% up to that final target. And speaking of that, I wanted to show you the trading room. Uh, and make mention that if you are a gold member on the site, a free trial member, take advantage of the trading room. I know that a lot of you don't have the luxury of being in front of the computer all day, but that's why I've created these groups. They help you quickly sort out or pick up on trade ideas and kind of filter through, you know, basically get whatever you're looking for. I have this, let me see if I can move the page over a little bit for you. You can see here on the left, these are all the groups right here. Um, Swing trading, precious metals, you can look at them all, and you click on each group, it'll give you a description up top what that group's about. Keep in mind, they're not mutually exclusive. Um, are they? Yeah, they're not, because I'll put up a trade idea, say GDX, and I'll assign that to the precious metals and miners group because there are a certain subset of traders that like to trade the metals and the miners, just as there's traders that like to trade cannabis stocks. So a GDX trade, swing trade, the op that I post in the trading room will most likely be assigned to precious metals and miners. The point being, if you're a swing trader, you may want to subscribe to any of these groups that you might have an interest in. You might be a swing trader, you might like trading gold and GDX and those type of things, but you don't want to trade the marijuana stocks because they're too volatile. Then you don't select cannabis stocks. But if I put a swing trade idea and it's a marijuana stock, I am going to assign that. That will be assigned to the cannabis stock group. Now, a huge benefit to these groups, or a tool, I should say, are these email notifications. If you click within a group that you're a member of, you have to join the group, then click email options, and you can set to receive an email notification anytime a new trade idea is posted in the within the trading room assigned to a group, or an update within the group. In this case, we're talking swing trading. You can get an email notification to be sent immediately, right as a post is made. You can have a daily digest of all activity within that group sent at the end of the day. Or you can do a weekly summary. You can see here I'm signed up for a weekly summary. And now I'm in the trading room all the time, so I'm going to see anything that's posted in real time, so I don't need to get a daily or an immediate update. But and keep in mind, you can do different updates for different groups. Investing and trend trading as a group, those trades are usually lasting, measured in many months, sometimes a year or more. So you don't maybe need an immediate notification. But again, it's up to you how often you want to receive those. Now, going through this, here's MNKD, for example. This is the last update that I posted today, along with a link to the previous setup. And you can see this was the updated chart today that I put. and showed a reaction there. As I said, I always take my price targets, my profits, slightly below an actual resistance level. If you see an unofficial trade idea, you'll notice that I don't list T1, T2, T3. If I list T1, it says T1 equals 232, then that would be my adjusted target. In other words, I would probably had a actual resistance level at 236 or something, a few pennies above. In this case, these are just the levels turned on. I hit the line, I turn the level on to show the actual level. So you'd want to, these are what I call unadjusted price targets. You want to set your sell limit orders just slightly below, a few pennies below the actual resistance level. In this case, we went up and we hit a high of just under 232 today by a couple pennies, a few pennies. And you can see the scenario there. Likely pullback because that's a pretty significant resistance level, followed by another thrust up. And again, that one I already went over here. So we already had a reaction there. We pulled back a little bit, but and it depends what type of trader you are. If you want to try to game a bounce, try to game a pullback, wait till it breaks above 232, or you're in, you're close to 30% gain. If you took it at 178, somewhere around there, you can set a stop at break even, or you can set a stop to assure profits and let it ride because I do think this one over time looks good up to that 336 area. So as we go down in the trading room, you can see other members will post trade ideas in there as well. Here's another one that I posted the other day, a few days ago. RTK. This is an ag input company. Agriculture inputs are fertilizers, pesticides, things like that. So here's RTK. Really hasn't gone anywhere from where I posted the other day, but I still like it, and that's why I'm highlighting it right now. Has a nice, strong, bullish divergent low. Let's see, let's take a look at the chart right now. Again, it's about where it was back then, but it has potential. So this one, you could take it here. You can see there's a lot of reactions just below the recent lows right there. So that level's about 24. You'd probably want to maybe set a stop on a close below, slightly below 24, especially on a daily close. And then the target, the gain potential is pretty nice on this. That first target unadjusted again, so you'd want to take profits a little bit shy of the 40-cent level. That's about a 46% gain if that target is hit. And ultimately, I have a target up here at 56 cents, and that's about 106% from where we're at. So if you're targeting 106%, or let's just say 100% on a trade, you could allow for a 20% down a stop loss and still have a very attractive RR, risk to reward ratio, of 5 to 1 or better. Um, that's a great trade in my opinion. Even though this is a low price stock, it's penny stock. Obviously, take your position size way down if you're trading a stock that's below a dollar. But that's one trade idea. Another one I mentioned recently in the same group was MBII. This is also an ag input stock. Recently broke out above this wedge, came in back tested. Already actually, since it broke out, I believe I posted it before the breakout or right afterwards. We'll look at it in a second. But that one ran up about 17% in very short order after the breakout. And again, reversed just shy. This is why I set my sell limit orders just shy of the actual resistance level because very often a lot of eyes are watching that level. They're going to step in early. And I don't want to try to milk every cent out of a trade. So I'll always set my sell limits a little bit shy of that level. So now from here, you want to see a break above 138. And this is your next target all the way up here. So a lot of potential. I mean, from where it's at now, if it gets up to that 182 level, that's about almost a 50% move. And there's maybe some more upside there. These ag inputs, they're in the same industry as Mosaic, which is an official trade. Not sure. I'll have to check where we're at on that one. Potash has been in this long basing pattern, so I'm not seeing these guys move yet, but I am keeping an eye on the sector, and some of those smaller names look like they have potential. All right, moving on. Okay, here's the MNKD. This was the original trade setup there. You can see there was the criteria and the chart and everything. So that one so far has played out very nice. MBII, as I mentioned, that was the other one I was looking at. We just covered. So you can see it here all as I scroll down the swing trading group. XCO, this was an update. It was first posted at 135 in the trading room as an unofficial trade idea. Um, and from 135 right about here, that thing ran up over 70% in just a few days. And it came back in and has back tested this 150 level. It's a very well defined, you can see all the reactions there, gaps, great, great level. So far we're up on that from where we entered this morning as an official trade. Nothing huge, but I think it's a compelling trade. It's obviously an aggressive trade, low priced, but I do like it. And we're going to go over the XOP. We'll update that in just a second because this is in that sector, oil and gas, E&P, exploration and production sector. Before I get there, let's look at do an update on the wheat trade. I did an update on the front page. This one has I've never seen a stock test my stop so much for so long. The official stop on this one's any move below 640. And going back to here, we had a close at 642. This goes all the way back to the 22nd of this month. We closed at 642. You can see if you look when I put the crosshairs on there, that pop-up box to the left, all the way up top in blue tells you the closing value. Next day we closed at 642. Here we closed at 640. And remember, the stop is any close below that level, so 639 or lower. So we just avoided a stop there. Another close 643, close at 640 again yesterday. And now it's starting to look good. I like this one. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. There it is. Looks like we're challenging that downtrend line now. There is a little bit of a horizontal resistance level, and I'll show you the chart of ZW2. This is my trading proxy for this one, but I use the ETNs as the official trade ideas. I know a lot of people don't have access to futures contracts. So this one, you can see the nice divergent low. We had divergence here. I could add a line and extension here. So this was a divergent low, and we popped with a fairly impulsive candle above the price channel in ZW, and I put a higher weighting on what the futures are doing than what an ETN will do, because the futures are the real deal. That's where the pros are trading, more so than the ETNs. There's a horizontal resistance level right about 438, and I think I mentioned that this morning. We need to see that taken out. You can see that after the breakout and the impulsive pop above the trend line, we stopped right at that level, hit that level cold. So that needs to go. And once that goes, I think it's smooth sailing. It's about a 10% gain up here to the first target on ZW. That's about 480. And then 498 is the next target, about 13%. So very nice risk reward if this one can hold those, hold this level and follow up on this breakout of this channel and really put that 438 level behind us. That's what I'd like to see. Quick update on gold. Gold still looks good in my opinion. We had a couple days of profit taken recently. No big deal. Charts still look fine. And what's nice is you can see the big red candles. It was a pretty impulsive down day reversal the other day, but I was surprised to see how well GDX held up, the miners. I happened to pick in lieu of gold. The official trade I went with was the silver miners, SIL, because I do believe that silver will play a game of catch up to gold, as I mentioned. Silver's up 0.67 today. GLD is up 0.55. So you can see a little bit of outperformance. Nothing, one day doesn't make a trend, but again, you can see gold up here way past these previous reaction highs from earlier in the year, whereas silver is still way below those reaction highs. And so if we get a game of catch up, then the silver miners ETF probably do well. Today it's underperforming GDX, but it looks good. It looks really nice. You can see that downtrend line forms sort of a symmetrical or a descending triangle pattern, and it broke out recently. And I like a lot of the individual names too. You can almost always outperform. I picked some of my favorite silver mining stocks. They're doing well. CDs up 3%. You can see again, nice downtrend line. This looks very similar to the chart of SIL, but I do like that sector going forward. And let's wrap it up with an update on the energy stocks. As of now, XOP is an official, yeah, it's been an official trade idea, I should say, for a few days, and it's looking much better today. What did we see today? Well, we now have confirmed divergence. You can see the bullish crossover on the PPO that I was looking for recently, and now we have that. That effectively confirms that higher low in the PPO as well as the RSI. So now we have confirmed bullish divergence. We also, as today's candle, you can see nice candlestick gapping up above this recent trading range here, all these recent candles. So that looks good as well too. So I like the sector, and I like it enough that I did a video the other day covering my favorite stocks, and I talk about this often. You give me a sector, bullish or bearish, and more often than not, I can go in there and sniff out the most bullish stocks within a bullish sector or the most bearish stocks within a bearish sector and outperform that sector. Now, here's an example. XOP is up 1.8% right now. If you look at these are the stocks that I covered in that video the other day, all the blue flags down to here. So it's about 20, 21 or so stocks. Um, and you can see the gains 5%, 8%, almost 3, 2, 3, 3. We have one up, double digits. And that was, all of these stocks I liked. I starred them, I flagged them. And you can see that one bounced off support. It had that really nice support level at 90 cents. And just in the last few days, that stock has run as high as, almost, almost 30%, 26% or so. Um, Now, point being, you look at this, the average gain is easily double what XOP is. And then when you go down here, from here down below, you see a lot more stocks trading in the red. And you can see that the average gain, and this only makes sense. If the average gain is double, let's say we're about a 4% average on my favorite picks, and XOP is down under 2, then it only makes sense that the majority, the rest of the holdings are going to average, they have to be up on average less than 2%. Again, that's not factoring in weightings and all that. Some stocks might carry a heavier weighting, but the point being that my preferred list that I covered the other day is vastly outperforming the ETF today, and I expect that to be the case going forward. Um, so, you have the safety numbers with an ETF, but if you have the time and effort or inclination to go through and build a portfolio, and it doesn't take much. We're talking maybe, a dozen or so, up to 2 dozen if you can do it, of the best looking stocks within the sector. You're almost certain to outperform the ETF. All right, let's. I think that's it. Let's wrap it up there. If there's any other trade ideas that stand out to me, and I'm sure I'll think of some, I'll post them in the trading room. But again, take advantage of the groups, especially the email notifications, um, as that's where the majority of the trade ideas that I post, I'd say it's probably 5 to 1 unofficial trade ideas that I post in the trading room for every one official front page idea that I post. And it just has to do with trying to keep up with all these stocks. As official trade ideas, it takes a lot of work where I can easily throw out some nice looking trades, and a lot of those have been doing very well lately. So again, take advantage of the that email notification system, and you can be updated on those, as quick as you want, either immediate notifications, daily or weekly. Okay, this has been Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart. Hope you enjoyed it.